The 2026 FIFA World Cup Group J. Algeria 3, Austria 3. And what a way to wind up the group stages here. A 6-goal thriller full of late drama. So, there was speculation beforehand at a quiet, mutually beneficial draw, and it did end all square. However, both teams, I have to say, really went for it in the second half. And this eliminates the watching eyes of South Korea and, even more agonizingly, Iran. But more on that later. First half. Austria threatened to break the game and actually finally opened the scoring in the 28th minute. Marko Arnautovic, he sprints onto a lofted pass from David Alaba over the top of the Algerian defense, and he manages to overcome a slight stumble to poke the ball past keeper Benbout. Algeria responds. They level the score right away before the break in the 41st minute when Bengali, he tracks down a long ball, dribbles past defenders, and he fires a left-footed shot near inside the post. All square at 1-1, and so far, quelling any fears of a agreement beforehand. And the second half did not disappoint whatsoever because there was an absolute showdown towards the end. But before that, the game did slow down a little bit right at the start of the second half whistle, but it started to pick up again not long after that. Austria, they reclaimed the lead in the 55th minute when Konrad Laimer, he sent a sharp pass across the field for Marcel Sabitzer, who finishes it. However, Algeria responds again. They come back into the match almost immediately. Captain Riyad Mahrez, he scores his first goal of the night in the 60th minute, and he's assisted by Hossein Ouar, tying the game at 2 apiece. And if that wasn't enough of a roller coaster, with the score level, still at 2-2 by the 1 hour mark, and the hot conditions in Kansas City starting to take its toll, the tempo of the game drops a little bit. And both teams are kind of content to maintain possession, comfortably securing the exact draw that would send them both through to the round of 32. But Algeria gets a moment where they have a 20-plus pass sequence of really nice football. And they're patient, and they're moving forward, slowly but surely. And the quiet conclusion turned into total chaos. Because despite maintaining a low tempo for the bulk of the second half, Algeria suddenly surges forward in an attempt to find the winner. And in the 93rd minute in stoppage time, Mahrez, he receives the ball inside the penalty area from Ouar, and he slops home an unexpected go-ahead goal that shocks the Austrians. And this sparks a panic on the Austrian bench because a loss would suddenly eliminate them from the tournament. And you think, I'm watching in real time, guys, and I'm telling you right now, that 3-2 by Algeria in stoppage time, I was convinced that the ghosts of Gihon were going to be avenged and exorcised 40-plus years later. And Algeria was going to eliminate Austria, kick them out of the World Cup, and Iran, their fairy tale, their hard-working, all the odds against adversity struggle would be rewarded by the football gods, and they would squeeze in to the round of 32. But football, sometimes, it's not just poetic, it can be brutally poetic. It can be cruelly poetic. Because in stoppage time, just a couple of minutes after Algeria's go-ahead winner, Austria, in the dying moments, manages a dramatic breakthrough. Michael Gregoric, he directs a header across the box when Austria is just in a sense of total urgency, just pushing numbers forward. And he finds Sasa Kaladzic, who stabs it into the back of the net, salvaging a 3-3 draw, putting Austria through to the knockout rounds by the thinnest of margins humanly possible. That ball is kept in play. It looks like it's going to go out for a goal kick for Algeria. But Gregoric, he keeps it in with his head. It prevents it from going past the line. And Sasa Kaladzic is there to poke that in. And in the span of just seconds, Iran goes from surviving to out again at the World Cup, and both Algeria and Austria go through. But Austria's reward is a matchup with one of the tournament favorites and reigning European champions, Spain. Wow. I have to give credit to both teams. Yes, there were moments where the match winded down a little bit as a draw would send both through, and I think both sides were fully aware of that. This being, along with the Jordan-Argentina match, the last games of the group stage. But both teams went for it towards the end, and I have to give them credit. There was no egregious level of just time wasting and just trying to see this through and handshake. I really thought Algeria saved Iran. I really thought Algeria had saved Iran with that goal, that second goal from Mahrez, and got revenge for Gihon. But the script writers, the spirits that guide this sport, and yes, they exist. They exist. They had other plans in store. Was this the right result? Probably. Probably. I think Austria's the slightly better team. It would have been awesome if Algeria had gotten revenge here. But both teams are through. And there didn't seem to be any foul play involved as far as like a preordained agreement, anything like that. It's just really unfortunate for the Iranians. An exciting and dramatic conclusion to the final match day here. And, you know, if anything, I think the Australia versus Paraguay game the other day that ended 0-0 looked more like an egregious sort of like hidden agreement to just pass the ball around, more so than this game did. And I got to give both teams here respect and credit. Both Ragnick's men and Petkovic. Petkovic will now be coming up against his old country, Switzerland, that he used to manage in the next round. That's quite something. Well, guys, this is the end. The group stages are officially over. This is the last video for the group stages. 72 games going strong. It's a lot of work, but I really appreciate the support you guys give me on this channel, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the knockout stages unfold with the rest of you. Let's have a great rest of the World Cup, because in the blink of an eye, it's going to be gone.